This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video on my own personal YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, it is most appreciated. What I've got coming up for you today, well, we're going to take another quick look at an Oaks candidate, hopefully. It's entered in both the UK and the French Oaks at this stage, and the Irish Oaks, I think the horse is entered in as well. So we might have three opportunities, the way the calendar is this year, to strike with this horse at this stage. But before we take a look at this horse, where can people find these horses? Classicwatch25.great/site.net is where people are able to find all these horses. You will see that the site is coming together quite nicely now, in my humble opinion. We've got Australian, Japanese, USA, UK, Irish, and French trained horses on the site already, complete with the start of the Roll of Honour. Pretty much every race that the horses on the site have won prior to me putting them on the site. Hopefully, the Roll of Honour will get updated through the season and at the end of the year in the usual fashion. So at some point, it will hopefully be complete. But it's a long work, and there's a lot of classics for me to look at. It sort of gets put to the back at certain stages, along with things like the National Hunt reviews and things like that I'm getting a bit behind on. But yeah, classicwatch25.great/site.net is where people will be able to find these horses. They might find this one at some stage. The Aidan O'Brien trained Whirl, sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Salsa, who herself was sired by the Coolmore's legendary stallion Galileo. And the horse was bred by Coolmore as well, owned by them as well. Michael Tabor, Derek Smith, and John Magnier. I just always call them Coolmore. It's easier. There's no Westerberg in this one or anything like that. People will see that the horse has run quite well. The horse has won half of its races, won 3 of 6 starts so far, running to a best racing post rating of 110. People will see it was definitely wanting further than 7 furlongs. In its first 2 runs, it was only 4th and 5th, although it did run in one of those £52,000 7 furlong maidens at the York Ebor meeting, where it's 5th behind Angelo Buonarroti, who sadly died, the Ammo racing horse. It then got off the mark the third time of asking at Doncaster in the UK, over 7 furlongs, when the horse beat Gullier by a length and a quarter, running to a mark of 79. It then took quite a hefty step forward, it has to be said, when it won the Group 3 Staffordstown Stud Stakes, I think that race was called. Yes, a Group 3 race for fillies, over a mile at the Curragh. The horse beat and so to bed by half a length, running to the mark of 96, which is quite a sizable jump, it's fair to say, from the form it has shown in maidens. For a little step up in trip, it sort of did galvanise the horse. It then came back in what was, I suppose, a sort of a Guineas trial in April 2025, the Park Express Stakes, over a mile, against the old horses as well, where she could only finish 6th out of 9, beaten 4 3/4 lengths by Classic Watch 24 possible One Look, running to a mark of 93. Again, though, at York, they stepped her up in trip again, 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs for the first time in the Group 3 Musidora Stakes at York. Quite a good trial, I think, for the Oaks, it's fair to say, usually. And well, romped home in that, really. There's no other word for it. Beating Serenity Prayer. It was a nicely bred horse, so I did chance on the day, Serenity Prayer. But she was put well in her place by 5.5 lengths by Whirl on the day, running to what has been her best racing post rating by some way, you see, of 110. What this horse has shown to me in its 6 starts, looking at these figures, is the ability to take massive steps forward. It's done it there, look, from 79 to 96, an improvement of 17. And again, it's done it again, 17 again, 93 to 110. For a little step up in trip, 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs, and that one was 7 furlongs to a mile. This time, the horse is going up to 1 mile and 4 furlongs. The first time the horse has tried the trip. She'll be ridden again by Wayne Lorden if she runs in the UK Oaks tomorrow. It's fairly probably safe to assume that at this stage she more than likely will. So this is an interesting horse, I think. Well, very interesting on the form. People see there's people check that France Gallop. Whirl is already in the Prix de Diane at the first forfeit stage as well. And if they check her entries on the Racing Post, they will see that she's in the UK Oaks tomorrow, and she's also in the Irish Oaks on the 19th of July, and she is also not in any St Ledgers at all, people will see. So yeah, very interesting pedigree and a very interesting line this is. She's very closely related to certain horses that we've already looked at recently, so I don't have to go on too much about the pedigree. All we can do really is take a look at her on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database with everything up to date. 6 starts, 3 wins, €34,935 and 92,205 UK pounds at this stage. First Staffordshire Stakes, first Musidora, you'll see there that the dam line Whirl is on is 8C, which is what we need off this site. What we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the first dam today, Salsa, and then I will explain how she ties into other horses that we've recently looked at. I will insert the necessary card into the video so I don't have to repeat myself about the pedigree. And then we will watch Whirl win 2 Group 3 races. And then I think we can get on with our lives. I think it's fair to say. Sounds like a good plan, in my opinion. Right, the first dam of the horse, Salsa, a mare born in 2017. Sired by Galileo out of Beauty is Truth. People will see there that Salsa wasn't really one of Ballydoyle's leading lights, only finishing in the first 2 in 3 of her 10 starts, 1 win and 2 seconds, earning in her career €13,537. In it, you'll see there that Salsa was a black type producer and she won over 8 furlongs at 3, but there's no evidence of any black type form at all. So unfortunately the horse fallen short herself on the track, and I think this is the first foal of hers that I could race. I didn't really find any others. So it's in the first go, she's sired a dual Group 3 winner already. So she's not doing too bad, is she? Officer, a horse that was admittedly well beaten in the Irish 1,000 guineas, a Classic Watch 25 possible this year. People will see that Beauty is Truth is also the second dam of Officer. So, and the video we used in the card, in the Officer video, we can use today. Sounds of Heaven was the name of that horse. A horse that has won listed 1-pattern races in England and Australia. It's won the listed Michael Seeley Memorial Filly Stakes of 2023 at York. And the horse has also second, in the Group 3 Epona Stakes in Australia. She didn't manage to win. That was my mistake. She was also third in the Group 1 Coronation Stakes as well, when in training in the UK with Jessica Harrington. You'll see that Beauty is Truth is also the second dam of this horse. Easy enough to see where we are on the historical dam line before I insert the card. People will see that we are sort of round here somewhere. I did have it lined up, but it seems to have, no, was it that section there? It was through a horse called Fifth Dam was on this site. Mill Princess. I found her earlier and left it. It must have moved because I did have it all nicely lined up for us all. Apologies for this. I just have to scroll through and find her again. Feel free to shout at the screen if you see Mill Princess before me. There she is. You'll see there, Mill Princess, foaled in 1977. So that's where we are on the classic site. A lot of these horses will definitely be touched upon in the card of Sounds of Heaven, as well as other horses on the 8C dam line. So what I will do is I will include a card for Sounds of Heaven now. And then it is just a matter of closing down a few tabs to save on the CPU and watching Whirl win these 2 Group 3 races and trying to ascertain whether we think she is a classic horse or not, which we will do now. Like I said, we're not going to watch her win the maiden third time out. We're going to skip straight to her 4th start in the Group 3 Staffordstown Stud Stakes and take a look at that. A race ran at the Curragh in October 2024. So let's take a look at this race and see what we think, shall we?
Thereof in the Staffordstown Stud Stakes, Group 3 for 2-year-old fillies. It's run over a mile. Fiona McCool in the white jacket just leads. Whirl, and in the blue cap, Island Hopping, followed by stable companion Mint Candy, and So to Bed moves up on the outside, followed by Circene and Celtic Motive as they race in the still early stages. And Whirl moves on in front by a couple of lengths to Fiona McCool, Island Hopping just third from Circene, and then So to Bed and Celtic Motive and Famed Again and Mint Candy. 2/3 of the way down the field is Giselle, and then Copacabana Sands and Jalea. In the lead by under 3 lengths with 5 to run is Whirl and Wayne Lorton, followed by Fiona McCool and Shane Foley as they head down towards the halfway stage. They're really starting to stack up now. Then Island Hopping and Ronan Whelan, and So to Bed on the outside. Running the rail is Circene and then Celtic Motive, and Giselle, Famed Again. Mint Candy has lost her pitch, is now near to the back with Copacabana Sands and Jalea. Their heads turn for home, 3 furlongs to run. The Staffordstown Stud Stakes, and it is Whirl with a reduced advantage over Fiona McCool. Then Circene, who's trying for a run up the rail. Then and So to Bed, followed by Island Hopping, Celtic Motive and Copacabana Sands and Giselle in the middle of the track. Inside the final furlong and a half, and it's Whirl still in front from And So to Bed and Celtic Motive, who are bearing down. Here on the outside is Giselle, gone on from Circene and Island Hopping. It's still Whirl from And So to Bed, Celtic Motive and Giselle. Anyone of 4, less than 100 yards to go. Whirl on the inside of And So to Bed. Whirl tenaciously has fought them all off in the Staffordstown Stud from And So to Bed, Celtic Motive, Giselle and Island Hopping right on their coattails.
Wow, what a game performance that was. Yeah, there is no other word for that, is there? That was a very good performance. I mean, you saw the jockey there, Wayne Lordan, obviously wasn't happy with the pace of the race, so he made a decisive move to take up the run-in and heading into the straight. She looked there to be shot at, didn't she, in this 1 mile race? But the horse there, well, she just looked so tenacious. And none of the other horses, including Giselle, one that is going to reoppose, I think, in the Yorkshire, in the UK Oaks tomorrow. If Whirl takes her chance, none of the others could get past her on the day, could they? Very tenacious performance under what has to be said, quite a strong ride there from jockey Wayne Lordan, who can ride them strongly when he wants to. And this video clearly proves that. That was a very good ride on the day from Wayne Lordan, it's fair to say, in that Group 3 race. So it was there then that she went to the Park Express Stakes in April 2025. That proved to be her last run at 2, not surprising really. It was towards the end of October, and she did. She was asked for plenty of effort in that race. Group 3 level again, April 2025, 6 out of 9 behind One Look, beaten 4 3/4. But then that was against older horses as well as 3-year-olds, dropped back into the 3-year-olds only group to contest the Group 3 Musidora Stakes at York on the back of a run at the Curragh. I think this will go down as a very good performance under Ryan Moore, I think. Quite surprised he's got off her, to be honest. But this was a good performance, I thought, on the day in the Group 3 Musidora Stakes. So let's have a look at this race and we'll see what we think.
Set. And they're off. They're racing for the Tattersalls Musidora Stakes Group 3 with an extended 1.25 miles away to a pretty level break. On the inside, Go-Go Boots is handy. On the outside there, the green jacket of Tatty Coram. Between them is Whirl. These 3 going on together, being trapped by Smokin in the pink and green Diabolo, with Miss Tonnerre on her outside, and Serenity Prayer and Oisin Murphy sitting chilly at the back of the field, only about 3.5 to 4 lengths off the speed as they go past the mile start over on the far side of the Knavesmire. So Tatty Coram and Hector Crouch leading from Go-Go Boots and Kieran Schumark. Whirl in the Michael Tabor blue and orange colours, racing on the outside for Ryan Moore. Followed then by Smokin, Ross O'Ryan in the pink and green, the Andrew Rosen colours. Miss Tonnerre and Tom Markon alongside, and still looking on at the rear is Serenity Prayer as the runners move down the side of the course now. They're about at the halfway point here in the Tattersalls Musidora. Tatty Coram cutting it out still. Whirl in second as they begin to turn into the home straight. Then comes Go-Go Boots, who's sitting on the rail, and then followed on the outside by Miss Tonnerre. All travelling nicely at the back of the field. Serenity Prayer in the blue and maroon on the inside. Smokin'. They're racing together as the runners come down now the home straight with 3.5 furlongs left to cover, and Whirl has committed. She goes on here for Ryan Moore, and all of a sudden one or two of them are under a drive. Trying to come out there to challenge is Go-Go Boots. Had a bit of a barging match there with Miss Tonnerre as she did so, and got a touch unbalanced. 2 furlongs left to go. Whirl is very much the one to catch here in the Musidora. Go-Go Boots trying. Serenity Prayer is under a bit of pressure as well. She is keeping on though. Then on the inside is Taddy Coram, but the bird might have flown here, and it's Whirl who's going further clear in the closing stages. And this trial season is turning into a Ballydoyle benefit here as Whirl comes home to win really comfortably. A double for Ryan Moore. Wins by about 5 lengths. In second, Serenity Prayer. Go-Go Boots in third. Then Taddy Coram, Miss Tonnerre, and last, the favourite Smokin'.
I mean, that was another good ride, wasn't it? I mean, the pace was in danger of collapsing there, wasn't it? I thought, as the front runner sort of stopped rather quickly there, but Ryan Moore wasn't having none of that, was he? And he committed well for home quite early there. Don't forget that was her first try at 10.5 furlongs. She'd only previously ran at a mile before, so that indicates to me the way he rode her, setting her out for home quite early, that there was no real stamina doubts on the day, was there? Up in whirling trip from 8 furlongs to 10.5 furlongs. Will the same thing happen when they up her from 10.5 furlongs to 12 furlongs? The 1 mile 4 furlong trip, if she is allowed to take her chance in the UK Oaks tomorrow. Well, is she a classic horse? Well, I think on the back of these 2 runs that we've seen, I think more than likely she almost certainly is. That is compounded by the fact that she is entered tomorrow in the UK Oaks at 4 o'clock. So at some point I will check through the declarations and add probably some horses ahead of this classic weekend. And well, if she is still entered tomorrow maybe, then that will be the time for her to get onto Classic Watch 25. She looks a very good prospect, doesn't she? At this stage, it's fair to say. And it will be fascinating to see if she can improve on her 2 Group 3 victories and take out a classic for classicwatch25.great/site.net. Right, I think I can leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch the video. Quite a short one today by my standards, under 20 minutes. So what I will do is I'll leave a copy of all the Classic Watch 25 possibles at the end of the video, so everybody will be able to watch them at their leisure. And I will also leave an opportunity for people who have chosen to watch this video, and others maybe, and are still uncertain about subscribing at the moment. I will give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the video as well. But for now, take care, everybody. I will leave this video here. A very fantastic weekend, I think, coming up of horse racing. Plenty of classics. Queensland Derby, Queensland Oaks, UK Derby, UK Oaks, and the Belmont Stakes head in the week. Should all be very interesting races. Hopefully, the Classic Watch 25 horses do themselves justice in all the races and all come back safe and sound. That will always be the main thing. Have a fantastic upcoming weekend, everybody. It's Friday tomorrow, so have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the rest of the week. Take care of yourselves and each other and your loved ones. Look after yourselves, and goodbye for now. Goodbye, everybody.